So hi there, Miss Shelly.
Hi.
How's it going?
Good. It's so good. How are you?
I'm great. So I am Amanda Melby with Raising Buchanan. I'm one of the producers, and I'm talking now with Shelly Boucher, who plays Trina in the movie, and also was our unit production manager. And we were supposed to be over on Instagram, and I don't know, my Wi-Fi was not working very well, so we jumped on over here to Facebook, and we're talking on Facebook, and then we'll post it again on Instagram later. But it wasn't working for me from my phone. So anywho, there we go. How's it going?
Great. Happy to be here. So excited about the movie.
Yeah. So you were like me in the sense that you wore two hats, right?
Yes.
So what was that like for you to do two things at once?
Um, it was good and it was challenging. Um, I already have a background in both things, so getting to do two things at once was a new way to learn doing both behind the camera work and being on camera and being prepared and mentally there for both things. I think that was probably harder for you than for me because you had to be on camera every day. But I loved it. I loved all of us working together. We were, one big quirky family. Like it's one quirky fun movie. You had to be on camera every day.
Yeah. And so your day job is doing production management for commercials and really probably bigger budget productions than what our little movie was, right?
Sometimes.
So you really come into this with okay, see, here's what I just screwed that up again. Okay, no, never mind. I got it. Okay. I was trying to look at the comments because Lisa Williams said, hi, Amanda. So I was going to try and type back to her while I was talking to you and, do two things at once, but that didn't work. But
Yeah,
I think I figured it out. So hi, Lisa
way.
Williams. How's it going? I figured it out. Okay. So your job during the day, right? Like at night and all times of the day really is unit production manager, which is what? It's actually production manager for commercials, right? So tell me what does that mean?
Like
What do you do?
production manager, line producer. So you are the connection between above the line or the creatives and making sure everybody on the crew is on the same page. So anybody like me, my role is in charge of everything from budgets to scheduling, coordinating safety and availability of locations, making sure that all the pieces come together.
Okay. And what's the hardest thing about that?
I'd say in commercials, it's pleasing both sides of who you're working with. If you're working with, there's always like sensitive egos when you're involved in creative pursuits, right? And in commercial production, though, you're also working to help promote somebody's bottom line. So there's always money and those kinds of concerns involved. But it's fun, it's such I think working in film in any aspect it's always an adventure. New things get to happen. You get to see places you'd never go or work with people. It's a really great way to have a lot of different experiences.
So what's the difference between working on the commercial side of it and the indie film side of it, where our budget is so micro, right? That's me inviting you to watch us.
Oh, see, I think I am watching it, maybe. I think the indie film world is better because it's so much more creative and you're working to tell a story as opposed to sell a product. I mean, sometimes commercial film production is fun because it can be like a mini movie, but it's never got that same kind of heart that you find in making somebody's creative story.
So What are you doing right now? You're hanging out at home. There's no commercial production, huh?
I'm hanging out with my children a lot.
I hear
No,
you.
yeah, I've been actually making a lot of videos with my kids. I'm lucky in that I don't know if one of their teachers knows that I do a lot of video stuff, and so we've had several. We had to have a lip sync battle yesterday, and my daughter won, of course. So against all the other kids, but also she was like only one of three that did the assignments.
Yeah, I think the teachers seem to be a little bit more lax on deadlines and
Yes,
completing
definitely.
things these
Our
days,
school
right?
district is.
Yeah.
But no, I'm, everybody in my family does, at least my immediate family does some kind of creative or likes to do creative things. So we like to throw around a lot of ideas. My oldest is making a horror trailer right now and things like that. So we're trying to do at least one video project every week.
That's good. So you're
Yeah.
staying busy with it. Okay, cool. Well, we were fortunate enough to have you not only be our production manager, but also play the part of Trina. So tell me a little bit about, obviously I know who Trina is, but tell everybody what Trina's like and what makes Trina tick.
Well, Trina, like myself actually in real life, has a strong interest in ventriloquism. And so she finds herself in situations, and she might also be a little bit shady. So she's, associates herself with a band of small time criminal types and meets Ruth at a party and then in front of their parole officer's office.
Whoops.
Oops.
Right? Yeah, we're both playing characters that are a little bit flawed, right?
Yes.
Yeah, which is fun for me, right? So how is it for you?
Yeah, I mean, you were definitely playing somebody who's against type, I would think. But me, I am a little crooked.
You're giving people the wrong impression about you. You are
Darn it.
wholesome and good.
Yes, most of the time.
Yeah, it's really fun. I mean, and okay, here's the thing that honestly creeped me out a little bit, Shelly, if I'm going to be honest. There's this whole side story which integrates really well actually into the main story about this ventriloquist group, right? And so we're gathering all of the ventriloquist figures, and I'm ordering them from eBay, and we're borrowing them from Bobby Rubin and from Axel Productions. And then you say, well, actually, Amanda, yeah. And I say, what do you mean you have one? And you say,
well, of course I do, because when I was in the 5th grade, I was going to grow up and be a ventriloquist. So, there you go. I see people are making comments. Oh, hi, Lucy. Thank you for tuning in.
Oh, I don't see that. I see Gary. Hi, Gary. Gary is my friend from college. And he said he's excited for the Blu-ray. Thank you. We are too. Pauline is on here, and Dan and Lisa. That's what I see. So are you seeing other things?
I just saw that one.
Oh, okay.
Thank you for everybody who's tuning in, though. We love that.
It's exciting.
But yeah, I actually have I don't know if you know this about me, but I have like a big passion for puppetry. I own like probably 10 or 15 puppets. So you could just put that little bug in Bruce's ear that the next movie he writes should have just, like Sesame Street style puppets. Like that's what else I own.
Well, I'll let you talk to Bruce about that directly. But you did use your own figure, right? You brought her to set, or did you?
No, because remember we weren't sure about rights-wise if we could.
Oh.
They ended up altering them. Vicky altered them, and so I just used one of Bobby's.
Oh, okay. All right. But it was the same doll, right? It was like the same.
Yes.
It was the Tessie.
Yes. Tessie Talk.
Tessie Talks. So
Yeah.
can you actually do that? Are you actually
A
good?
little.
What was it?
I was a lot better when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So there you go.
I learned to juggle once.
Did you really?
Yeah, and it's kind of the same thing. Like I was pretty good when I learned it, and now not so much. I don't think it's on my special skills anymore. I'll have to double check. Is ventriloquism on your special skills on your resume?
Puppetry is,
Oh,
but
is
no,
it?
ventriloquism isn't because I'm not that good at it.
Okay. All right. Well, you're probably better than most people. So, what was the biggest challenge for you working on the film? Could be either as UPM or as actor.
On the production side, definitely just making sure the train kept driving out of the station, right? Making sure it just kept going no matter what happened with us. And I think that people, they are like, I know movies like they seem really glamorous but it's like construction glorified with creativity thrown in, right? But you have to make sure that everybody is at the right place at the right time, has been fed and watered, has a place to go to the bathroom, like details that people don't necessarily think about. And there's like, it's safe for people to be there, and actors have a place to change, and everybody has a place to park and ways to set up. So I think the challenge in that was just making sure we always had everything available for everybody. And then acting wise, I just remember the day that we shot down in front of City of Phoenix. I think they let us shoot there on a Saturday because it was closed.
Yeah.
And me as an artist being able to like separate out the stress and be present. So I think it was probably harder for you because you had to do that every day. I remember you and I would like talk on the phone while we were driving. Okay, how about this? How about this? How about this? And you're like, okay, I gotta go. I have lines.
Yeah, because I would run my lines in the car on the way to from set with myself. Like I would record it, but it honestly wasn't as hard for me because I had you, right? And Joe, and a good team. So I was able to take the producer hat off a little bit while we were filming, right?
Yeah, and we did have a great team for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, when we were downtown, that scene was fun. It's always amazing to me, no matter what time of the year it is, how hot it gets when you're just standing in the sun here.
Yep.
Right? It was October, so it wasn't technically that hot, right? But we were boiling standing in the sun there.
Yeah, I remember that too. It was really hot. Yep. We had great hair though.
Yeah, and the background people were so wonderful, but there was a really long walk. Do you remember they would have to like start around the corner and then walk and then time it just perfectly so they passed us because we walked into each other also and had our conversation. And I remember that was a big coordination effort to try and get them to pass at the same time when they had to time their walk from a block away.
Yeah, there was no shade for them too, so that's always hard.
Yeah,
especially because I think if you're in the background, you're like, what are they doing? Why is it taking so long?
Right.
Are they done yet?
Right. So you came to the premiere when we premiered last April at the Phoenix Film Festival.
Yes.
And what was that like for you to see? I know you've seen yourself on film before, but what was that like at the theater?
Oh, to see myself. Well, my answer is twofold, just seeing it in general. It was so exciting to see all the hard work finally having come together. I think especially seeing the animation, I remember being really excited to see that. And just the overall vibe of how it all came together. Because sometimes when you're working on something, you're like, you put some of the pieces together, but you can't necessarily see the whole picture. And so getting to see everything come together. And then, of course, who likes to see you like it, but at the same time, you're like, ooh, look at my pores, 18 feet tall. Ooh, I need to peel.
I don't think anybody thought that about you, but.
But you're thinking about yourself, right? Because we're all our own worst critic. But no, it was so fun. I love I loved getting to see the movie and everybody in it. And I liked getting to be in the audience and experience everybody else's excitement for the film. Cause that, like, all that joy and positive energy. It's awesome.
Yeah. You know, what's funny too is, it took me probably a couple views of it to really notice Briscoe's reaction to you. The very first time our characters meet on screen, you do something kind of goofy, and you know, all three of us, well, there's four of us in that scene, we all react to you. But many times into the viewings, I looked at Briscoe's face. And it's so subtle. It's so subtle. His reaction to what you're doing is so subtle, but it is so funny, and you're just oblivious. I think it's one of those movies, you know, where everybody's just playing it really straightforward, you know, so a lot of these reactions are so small and they're so minute that it takes a couple of times of viewing to really notice all of the little wonderful gems that people are doing.
And I think that's what helps drive the humor in it so much, because it's just, there's always an underlying current of subtlety that makes you laugh.
Yeah. Yeah. What was your favorite scene to watch when you watched it back? Like what struck you that was maybe better than you thought it was when we were filming it, or better than it was on the page, or more interesting or funny?
I actually do really like that scene. That's all of us together when we all meet at the party. That one is really funny. I really like the animation. I just think because I liked how well that came together, and it has that really fun 80s nostalgia vibe for me. I don't know if I have a favorite. I like a lot of the stuff with you and Renee. I like that you guys had really great chemistry. Yeah.
I mean, well, he's just such a generous, nice man that it was hard to not play off of him, you know? Yeah. Yeah.
Do you have a favorite scene?
What's that?
Do you have a favorite?
Do I have a favorite?
Does anybody get to interview you and ask you these questions?
No. I mean, I guess you just did. I don't know if I have a favorite. Let's see. I don't know. I mean, I'm still pretty critical. There's a lot of scenes that I watch back and I go, oh, I'd like another take. Oh, let me ask Bruce if there's a better, you know, if there's a better clip or something. And then I think, then my producer hat comes back on and goes, no, Amanda,
no
that's
more.
going to cost you money. So we're not doing that, you know. I really like the scenes with Emmett, actually.
Yeah.
I like that he had the bulk of the conversation, and I just had to listen to him and react, which was fun for me. So I think those were probably some of my favorites. And then, you know, the things with Renee I like a lot, but they're the more grounded scenes. You know, they're not as funny, right? They're the more realistic scenes, you know, the dramatic part perhaps. So I enjoy them a lot, but they certainly don't make me laugh as much. You know who makes me, Kathy makes me laugh every single time I see.
Yeah, she's so funny.
So
what it's nice about with you and Renee though is like each time it's like a revelation about the life choices that have been made or similar to that. That's what's nice about it. I also liked, as we're talking about it, like when I am watching the film, I'm like, oh, I remember what we were doing that. Oh, you remember what happened that day? And that, which doesn't necessarily happen just in conversation.
Yeah. Yeah, I always look at the scene where I'm eating nachos. I eat a lot. Bruce wrote, basically I'm eating in every single scene. Not every single scene, but a lot of them. And the day that I was eating nachos with Terrence Bernie Hines in the scene with Ruth and her parole officer, you had just organized the most wonderful, amazing lunch that day, and we had just this huge buffet of lunch, and it was so good, and it was so wonderful. And then I went in and I had to eat all these nachos. And every time I watch that scene, I think about how great our lunch was and how I wish I had just set aside some food for me to eat later instead of, because then I just felt I was really full.
Nice. That's funny.
Yeah, you were very good at getting us food. Really good
Food's
food.
really important. You have to feed people.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I think people overlook that sometimes. Like, oh, we'll just order pizza. Like, well,
And then
once.
everybody after lunch is like, bzzz.
Yeah, like pizza's good, once, right? But we got to have
Right.
other good stuff. So yeah, you were always taking care of us. You were good at that, for sure.
I'm like the production mom.
What's that?
I'm like the production mom.
Yeah, you. You are. You are. You are. So you're also super creative. I mean, besides making the videos and that you're doing with your kids and stuff, you're doing a ton of baking.
Yes, I
Tell
finally
me
got
about that.
and so yeah, I'm a royal icing cookie baker, so specialty cookies with decorations and things like that, custom design stuff. In fact, I was thinking today I need to work on some graduation. I'm a little late for Mother's Day, and I just got a big bag of flour. So there you go.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Did you have to order it? Where'd you get it from?
Smart and Final. Actually, a friend got it for me. So
Okay.
yes.
Yeah, flour. People have been buying out the flour.
Now it's going to be meat, apparently.
Yeah, that's all right. We're trying to eat vegetables.
Yes, go vegetarian for a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. So the cookies you make are really, really cool. And you do some kits sometimes too.
Yeah, so you can decorate your own because it's a great boredom buster for kids. And I strongly believe, I teach classes. I used to, like, once a month before all of the quarantine happened. But I think everybody can learn a new special skill, something like that, and anybody can create and make cookies.
Yeah.
So I'm all about that teaching and creativity.
I like the kits because you can basically take them, you make them, and then everybody at home can do them.
Yes, it's like
Yeah.
decorate whatever they want.
What's you made some one time where you had the, like, paint by number or something? How did that work?
So I have these. I make these. I make tons and tons of them at Christmas. But it's a cookie, like it's like edible art. So it's a big square, and it has a design on it. It comes with a little edible paint palette, which is basically like airbrush colors sprayed into a circle. So you just add the water and you paint.
They're really cool.
Thanks.
Yeah, what a really fun activity.
Yes.
Do you have a Facebook page or a website for that? Or?
I bake by Shell, just Facebook.
I bake by Shell.
I bake like iPod, iPhone.
Right.
I bake.
Got it. Okay, so if people want to order cookies.
Yes.
Now
that I have flour.
Yeah.
I had to turn down a few orders, but now I don't have to.
Oh, yeah, I bet. So what are you looking forward to about the movie? What do you think people are going to like the most?
I think people are going to enjoy the whole thing, that it's unique. And I think now is a time that people want fun little stories that pull them out of, the kind of the day-to-day reality that we're, the Groundhog's Day that we all seem to be living in.
I know, right? Like,
Yeah.
what day is it, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And so that's the fun of raising Buchanan, that now you don't have to feel like you've gone all the way through Netflix or Hulu or Amazon Prime. You can, something new to watch.
Yep. Yeah, cool. Yeah, I'm excited. It's out today. It's on iTunes and Amazon Prime and Google Play and a bunch of other streaming places. And it's also on cable on demand and DirecTV, like not DirecTV, sorry, but some cable on demand, not all of them, but Cox and NBC Comcast, like that sort of thing. And then DVD Blu-ray. So for those of you that want like old school hard copy, physical media, you can get it there also.
What if they have a Laserdisc player? Time to step out of 1999 in that case.
Yeah, I think they're out of luck on the Laserdisc. Yeah.
But everything else is covered, so yeah. We got them.
Yep. So, all right. Well, listen, thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
And I think, maybe we'll try Instagram again later at some point. I don't know if it's just all the kids in the neighborhood doing their homework and submitting their tests or something.
Turning in.
Yeah, I'm not really sure, but yeah, but I'll post this over on Instagram, and then maybe we'll try a live video later. We'll see.
That would be awesome and super fun.
I know. Well, you're an expert at it. I'm apparently not, but
not at Instagram Live.
Oh.
I'm an expert scroller.
Hey, that's good to be an expert at.
Yes.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, thank you very much, Michelle, and enjoy the cookies and the big bag of flour.
Yes.
And thanks for chatting with me.
Yeah. Enjoy all your interviews. Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye.